All right. It's
Giggity.
me and you once again.
Back at it again with your two-man podcast
That I think people are slowly growing to hate because when we get emails, very often it mentions how they like all of us present. And oh boy, I don't know how to tell you, kids.
Well, believe me, I agree with them. I think they are much more fun, but the show must go on. And so here we are with another two-person podcast.
I'm gonna just kick it off with the summer. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Full disclosure, kids. I watched these episodes a few weeks ago and put off writing the summary until right now. So naturally, I don't remember much, but I'll try my best. We began clearing the competition over in C Block, where we encounter one of the grossest devil fruits in the series, a Ludicolo prototype, and some other cool fighters, but none of that matters since it's Luffy and Don Chinjao in the final two. Law is currently having a really bad time and Nami refuses to answer his calls. Couldn't be me. Last few things I remember are the Straw Hats just running around on their converging fetch quests. Devin got a call of it from 2 weeks ago and naturally is not here to, call it again. The Marines are as clueless as ever. And we got some insight into that talking toy phenomenon on the island. And I think that's about it. So how's everyone's Thanksgiving? And by everyone, I mean, I guess you and the listeners, if you want to tell us how your Thanksgiving was, feel free to do that too.
It was nice. It was fun hanging out with family, even though the fall months are rife with birthdays. So we see each other like every other weekend anyway.
Gotcha.
But I'm a big Thanksgiving guy. If anything, just for the litany of food that gets cooked. Not necessarily the Thanksgiving message.
There's a message?
I'm in it for the food. Well, like the whole giving thanks for the important things in your life. Get that out of here. I'm here for food.
Okay, I can respect that. But have you ever considered that Christmas is just Thanksgiving, but with gifts, and therefore is superior?
Well, yeah, but giving gifts is a different kind of thing. Like there's gift giving is a whole like social interaction that food preparing doesn't have, where there's value placed on objects, and if one person gives you gifts that are worth more, there's potential for you to feel bad about what you gave or feel like you need to match in order to feel you've properly reciprocated. So there's more social pressure in Christmas.
I hear what you're saying,
you don't
and
care
those
like
points
me.
are valid. Counter argument: if those feelings arise, you can just make yourself feel better by just eating dinner.
Right, which is why Thanksgiving is great. Because you just skip the part where you have to have that inner conflict, and you just go straight to the eating part.
I think the gift
and nobody
giving
cares if you look like a fat fuck, because everyone looks like a fat fuck.
I think the gift giving is just worth it, man. I think it nudges it just to, just a little bit in the lead.
That's fair. I'm also like a notoriously awful person to shop for Christmas, because I buy the stuff that I want throughout the year. And so when Christmas time rolls around, I'm like, I don't know, socks. I usually run through socks by the end of the year. It's socks, undies, pajama pants are usually an easy 3, but they hate those because they ask for them every year. So they want something different every year.
Listen, as a guy who's been running through socks pretty often this past year, my recent jobs, I don't know what happens to my shoes. I just burn holes through my shoes and socks. Shoes and socks.
We both have very high intensity, like moving around active jobs that require us to be on our feet. So I completely understand what happens.
I'm also a notoriously bad shopper. I am not like super duper creative when it comes to gift giving. It's like I have to know you like the back of my hand. And even then, there's a possibility you already probably bought that thing for yourself, which tends to happen. And at that point, I succumb to my worst version of myself and I just give people money or gift cards. And I don't think that many people are actually upset about receiving those. But society has told me that that's like lazy gift giving. I should feel bad about it.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same way. I have little to no imagination in fun gifts, and also tend to just resort to, if you haven't told me like what you want for a gift, it's you're getting the lowest hanging fruit of gifts, which is either a gift card, and maybe I'll throw in some scratch offs for the gotcha aspect,
Same.
Put a little bit of excitement into it.
So moving on, before we officially talk about the episodes, I want to go over some recent fan messages that are a little relevant.
We're gonna do this at the front of the show.
They're better at the front, yes, or at least these two things. Then there's actual fan mail at the end. We're getting sandwiched in between messages. Don't worry, it's a good time. Nice and cozy. It's cold out there.
Sure.
First one's from Zach, who, fun fact, has been in our Discord server all along, hiding in plain sight. But Zach wrote to us a couple weeks ago, just heard the episode and the jukebox you guys did. Good job with it. I'll be honest, I had more of an idea that you grab a group of characters and just see what they can agree upon. But you guys can do whatever you want. It's your podcast. Great job. I'm just glad it got used. And thank you, Zach. We'll try it again your way next time if I remember this somehow. See what happens.
Yeah, in like 6 months when he remembers it as he falls asleep one night.
And the other message that I am personally more invested in came from Cankles also a couple weeks ago, almost a full month ago. He, I guess, listened to whatever episode came out at the time where I guess we got introduced to the Funk Brothers. And I had dismissed the notion that they were a reference to Terry Funk. And Cankles corrected me. Or at least this is most many. I don't know how much of this is hardcore fact. But anyway, Cankle writes, it was totally a Terry Funk reference as he and his brother Dory Funk, the Funk Brothers, were huge in Japan. There are a bunch of wrestling references in the Coliseum, such as Jesus Burgess being a luchador, Jeet and Abdullah being references to Tiger Jeet Singh and Abdullah the Butcher in the hardcore wrestling scene. They were popular in the 80s and 90s. Also, Battle Royale may have been the first movie, but Battle Royales have been in wrestling since the 60s, the most famous one being the Royal Rumble, which started in the 80s. And there's, a bunch of other stuff you mentioned about, clearly Oda's a huge wrestling fan, particularly of 80s hardcore, which is interesting. But yeah, I completely forgot that Terry Funk had a brother. So maybe what do we have? We have Terry and Kelly, or no? Who are the Funk Brothers in the show?
I don't remember.
One of them is definitely like Kelly. I feel like that's true. I think
that's right. I think you got it right. Terry and Kelly sounds right.
I'll stick with it. Terry and Kelly. It may not actually be Terry, but screw it. The Funk Brothers are the Funk Brothers in both anime and real life.
Funk is funk.
Funk is funk. Speaking of funk, you want to talk about that devil fruit, bro?
Do we have to?
I feel like
I guess we kind of have to. So the younger one, which I believe Kelly is the boxer, he's the older one, but he's the smaller one. But don't say it to his face, otherwise you'll have some problems. Kelly Funk has consumed the jacket fruit and is a jacket human. So as far as we can tell, the extent of the power is he can turn himself into a jacket. That's it. So, well, at its core, he turns himself into a jacket, and then whoever wears him adopts his personality. They don't get his physicality. In fact, it's the other way around. He adopts the physicality of whoever or whatever puts on the jacket.
My understanding is basically the jacket fruit gives you a really shitty way to possess people.
Yes, precisely that.
It's like possession but with consent, or at least implied consent.
It's possession with extra steps. And it's dumb and stupid.
But more importantly, it's gross.
It is disturbing and it is uncomfortable. They make it as, I guess, as painless as possible, but there's still some weird slippery sounds that he makes when the younger, bigger brother puts on the jacket and like really stretches him over himself, by the way, because younger Funk, Terry Funk, if that is his real name, he's a massive man, and it's just kind of explained away that he was born with a really strong body. The other guy from the Kano Kingdom tries to hit him with an axe. The axe snaps in half, and it's no ordinary axe. This axe has been reinforced with hockey. So this guy's got a strong body, and it's just kind of hand waved away as a thing he has. And then he puts on his brother's skin, or more accurately, puts on his brother. And now Kelly Funk has the physicality of his younger brother, and the knowledge, I guess, of how to punch really fast that he has. I don't know.
So I think
He's
Kelly
just
was
kind
the
of
boxer. Also, just fact
Kelly's
check
the
myself.
boxer.
Little brother is called Bobby. So it's Bobby and Kelly.
Bobby is the big one.
Yes.
Kelly is the amateur boxer.
Yes.
And Kelly's only worth is the fact that he is an amateur boxer. So when the going gets rough, he makes his brother put on his skin and then fights people.
What are you doing, stepbrother? That's a bad joke, but I couldn't resist.
No, it's great. I'm glad you did it.
So yeah, that happened. Glad it was mostly over and done with rather quickly. Other things happening.
They dispose of him real quick, and I couldn't
God
be
bless.
happier.
Doing God's work, honestly. Other things happening in C Block. We got the name of that guy I tried referencing a couple weeks ago, where so we meet Ideo. I don't know how you pronounce his name. The guy with the shoulder pads, or whatever you call them.
Yeah.
That guy had a cool design, and now he seems even cooler because he's got like explosive punches. I don't actually know the cause of such like powerful feat, but I am convinced that he has the devil fruit from that guy in Baroque's work, the Burger Man. I don't know if it was called the bomb fruit or not, but
I think I vaguely remember that because I remember making like the SpongeBob pie bomb jokes at the time.
Yeah, I'm assuming that guy has his devil fruit. I can't prove that. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's my headcanon for the moment because I don't understand how else you explain just literal bombs for punches.
How fast he punches, I guess, breaks the sound barrier and make small explosion. I don't know.
Maybe, but
physics.
I like my headcanon better. So Ideo.
Sure.
Ideo's cool.
I mean, but then he couldn't be able to eat the Mara fruit.
Maybe he hasn't thought that far.
That's fair.
And then other than him, he didn't really do much, but he looked cool, and that's all that matters. Other guy that kind of exists is this Ludicolo prototype looking dude. Gene Ongo, I think was his real name. I forgot what they called him prior to his reveal.
Bandit thief,
yeah, some bandit guy. He
bounty hunter.
Yeah, he was a bounty hunter who managed to round up most of the released prisoner or the escaped prisoners from Impelled Down when Luffy broke out, which is kind of impressive. Except he probably got a bunch of small fries, so who cares? I just could not get over his appearance. I just looked at that guy. I'm like, you're fucking Ludicolo, bro. It's honestly really funny.
It's a little funny because you can't see his mouth move at all because he's wearing that like mouth guard thing for some reason, and then he has the sombrero, which you learn isn't like really a hat. It's just a thing he puts around his head because the top of his head actually is cactus colored, and then he just has that piece that he puts around it to make it look like a full sombrero.
He just has all brim, no brero. I don't know.
All brim. He's Yankee with only brim.
I feel like that makes it worse. But yeah, he also he's a vulture. He just like, ooh, a weapon? That's for me. And then he just, instead of investing in bullets for some reason, he just throws swords and other sharp weaponry. And I don't know how to feel about that.
No, this is good. This is economical.
I guess so.
Because he doesn't have to spend money. He just if he can throw swords that good, then there's no need for the bullets. Although it'd also be really cool if he could like flick the bullets too. That would be sick. That'd be really cool.
Reduce, reuse, and recycle kits.
Yeah.
But also another character that doesn't matter because we get down to the final two of Lucy versus Don Chinjao. And,
as expected.
I need to make this comment that I don't know if you'll remember or understand because it's been quite a long time since you played the one and only Monster Hunter game you played. But Don Chinjao fights like Rajang from Monster Hunter. He just goes full monkey mode, takes his arms and sweeps the ground. There might have been a hyper beam. I don't remember. But I just remember seeing it so vividly. And I was like, you're a fucking Rajang. You tiger monkey beating my ass, motherfucker.
Is Rajang only in World? Or is he in
Rajang is a
prior
staple
he's a well-known
Monster
Hunter.
Everything.
Got it. Which one do you think came first then? I don't know how far back Monster Hunter goes.
Monster Hunter is definitely video
Who drew
game.
inspiration from who?
I'm gonna go One Piece here. It might be close, but I'm thinking, because Monster Hunter probably wouldn't have come out until the 2000s on a PlayStation 1 or something. I can't think of any older consoles that could maybe run a game like that.
I hate that I Googled Monster Hunter and the fucking movie came up first.
That is terrible.
It was like
Google
the first
should feel
3
bad
or
about
4
what it's done.
results.
That
it was
is
like the
awful.
first 3 or 4 results. So I don't know when if Rajang was a feature of the very first one, but if we assume that it was, the first Monster Hunter released in 2004.
2004 sounds about right.
At which point, if he was within the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 10, that still predates 2000, the year 2010.
Oh, then Rajang came first, I think. Yeah.
There are various Monster Hunters in between. Some of these don't even look like real Monster Hunter. They look like cutesy games. But either way, there are a lot of spin-off Monster Hunter games. And if he's in any of the first 10, then he probably came first.
I'm willing to take those odds. I'm thinking Rajang came first. But yeah,
So you think Oda was a big Monster Hunter guy then?
Probably. Is the only explanation.
That seems likely.
Their fighting styles
it's a big game over
are uncannily similar.
That's fair. I would have never made that connection because it's been a long time since I played World. And
listen,
World
when you get your ass beat by that monkey one too many times, it sticks with you, man. Fucking thing sweeps the floor, picks you up, throws you down, hyper beams you in your now prepared grave site. It is. I don't want to talk about it no more.
We can move on before we have to start turning this into a therapy session.
Anything else you want to move us along to? Anything stick out for you in block C block, whatever?
I did kind of enjoy the brief scene that we got of the I don't know, the other Kano guy just handily defeating the Funk Brothers. That scene was pretty hot.
The guy who Sai, he uses the 8. What did I write? I know I wrote down somewhere the 8.
They all use the 8 impact fist or whatever that martial art is called. All of them from the Kano Kingdom use it, but one of them got knocked out, and the other is Don Chinjao. So the third one,
Sai.
And Sai. The scene of Sai dealing with the Funk Brothers, I thought was hot. Because he backs up and Kelly Funk does his low budget gum Gatling and Sai just steps on his fists as he's throwing the punches, jumps up and just kicks the ever loving fuck out of him. And we're just kind of again hand wavy explained away that the 8 impact fist has different ways of affecting an impact that is made using the martial art. And so he just one kicks the Funk Brothers, and it looks so sick because they slow-mo it and everything of him tap lightly dancing on all of his fists as the punches are thrown and just kicks the shit out of him.
If I remember correctly, I think a distinction made with the 8 impact fist was about how it's able to do damage internally, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, because they talk about how shields and armor are worthless because the reverberation or the vibration, whatever you want to call it, will move through you and your body and still do damage and such.
It's like when you get punched by it's like when you get punched by that one really big dude in high school who's just really heavy-handed. He just gives you a light jab on the arm, and you're like, "Oh, hey, ow, why is it going through me? I feel it in my chest.
I feel the tingles in my other arm." Yeah. So I kind of wish we had seen a more in-depth fight between him and Hideo, if anything, just to kind of showcase either of them a little more. I guess not that it matters at the end of the day, because the likelihood we see these characters again outside of this are probably low, but it might have been fun just as a one-off fight to demonstrate more martial arts or more powers in this universe. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much, but I enjoyed that one scene between him and the Funk Brothers. That was kind of sick.
Nice. I don't think a whole lot else happened in that block. I don't remember what Gene Ongo did. I just remember he pissed off Don Chinjao or something, and he just had a oh fuck face.
So with that, for about 2 episodes, the bandit guy, what do you call him, Gene?
Yeah, I think it's Gene Ongo is his name.
Gene has stolen Luffy's helmet because it had fallen off at some point. And Luffy is trying desperately to get it back because he doesn't want to expose his identity.
Oh, I'll get to that.
So he's running around picking up stuff still, and Luffy's chasing after him and can't catch up to him for some reason. And finally, it ends with Gene having picked up like every piece of weapon and armor on the field, basically, and he starts throwing it. And all the meantime, Don Chinjao has been trying to make his way to Luffy to actually fight his nemesis or self-proclaimed nemesis. So Gene gets to a point where he's collected all these things, and now he's finally ready to assault Luffy with all of it. And he's very confident that he can hit Luffy with his throwing, sniping powers. And Luffy's just dancing in between, having a good time. Like, he starts thinking about Jinbei and Ivankov because Gene brings them up as part of his minor backstory of like, oh yeah, I got rich. I got filthy, stinking fucking rich off those prisoners you let go. But now I'm coming for you and all the other big names. I'm talking Crocodile. I'm talking the queen of the queers, Ivankov. I'm talking Buggy the Clown. And he starts listing all of them. And he was really in over his head. And all the while, Luffy's dancing in between these swords going, I wonder, that's a good point. I wonder how Jinbei and Ivankov are doing. I haven't seen them in a minute. And the whole time, Gene's getting super frustrated. He finally throws the last of his weapons, and Don Chinjao's behind Luffy with a couple swords stuck in his belly, real upset about it. And he fucking lays out Gene, and then Gene is no more. His worth to the story has been used up.
It was in this moment he realized he fucked up.
He had super fucked up. And then we finally get the point where we're left with Don Chinjao and Luffy, more or less, because they're staring down. Those other Sai and Hideo are off having their own duel, which is another hilarious thing because they're having their own duel, not minding their surroundings. And Don Chinjao and Luffy are charging at each other, and they get in between Luffy and Don Chinjao, and each one of them just brush one aside. Luffy hits the Kano guy aside, Sai, and Don Chinjao blows Hideo away, and so they're not a problem anymore. Their battle is resolved. We don't have to worry about who's stronger there, because Hideo also makes the outrageous claim that Sai is the strongest one in the ring at the time when Don Chinjao was literally right there. So that was crazy to me, but okay. Fine. He's fighting someone his own size, I guess, is maybe what he was really going for. He's a big organized fighting guy because he's won these championships. So I can only assume he's been in more regulated settings. So maybe he was just he was punching up into his own weight class and not considering that there were stronger people outside of his weight class, maybe. But either way, they get blown away, and we get this display of Conqueror's Haki going against each other that was pretty cool looking, if I do say so.
That was indeed pretty cool. These moments are few and far between, but they are always significant and they're always cool.
Yeah. So it also just another like, how do these people not realize Lucy isn't just some guy
yes,
moment?
Thanks for reminding me.
Because of the use of Conqueror's Haki and also Gum Gum Fruit a little bit more later.
Also, just like, I can understand if you're in the nosebleeds. We're going to tell me there's like not a mic somewhere in the arena to like pick up anything these people are saying. Like, even the announcer, like, you didn't hear anything, bro? Like, how has he gone away with this for so long?
I don't even care that there doesn't even have to be a mic. Don Chinjao screams at the top of his lung, Garp's grandson, get the fuck over here. Straw Hat Luffy, I'm gonna kill you. And also Gene, when he's picking up all the weapons and stuff, he's like, you'll never take me alive, Straw Hat Luffy, I'm coming for your head. They're screaming it. They're not just saying it to them like man to man from 10 feet away. They're screaming it at the top of their lungs. People in the front row should at the very minimum be able to hear these people and be like, wait a minute. Straw Hat Luffy? The Straw Hat? I don't know.
Criminal.
It's absurd, but whatever. Who cares?
And that's basically it for C block. I guess we'll get our conclusion sometime next week, presumably. Moving on, I guess we just go over to Green Bit. Law scenario, he's having a really bad time.
Super bad time. Insanely bad time.
He's doing great, I think.
Well, I don't know about this great stuff, but he's alive, which is about all he can ask for right now, because he's got these two OP motherfuckers chasing him down and still not even like seemingly not even really trying to catch him just yet. They're kind of especially Doflamingo feels like he's just playing with his food at the moment. I don't know how hard. God, what was the
Isho is his real name. Fujitora is his epithet.
Fujitora. I almost mixed them. I almost went Ishitora, and I was like, that's not right.
It's pretty good.
Fujitora. It does sound pretty good, right? Oda, call me if you need any more names. I don't know exactly how hard he was working, but he just kept calling down meteors because apparently this planet just has a ring of meteors or asteroids.
That man has like GPS trackers on them. He knows exactly where they are at all times.
At all times. It's like the Marines put a stash of them up in space intentionally. They had Garp launch a bunch of rocks into orbit so that Fujitora would have just a supply of them to call down from orbit, just orbital strike inbound and on his position at any given moment. It's hilarious. Now, before it was cool. Now I think it's hilarious that he goes swing swing and whatever that motion he does with his sword, those two cuts into the air allow him to channel his power straight up and call down just a fucking hunk of space rock and attack whatever is there. Like it's still cool, but now it's just got this funny factor that he just walks around slowly and menacingly too. I love this part too, where he just slowly walks because he's like almost playing the old man character ish, but then he just fucking teleports somewhere. Like when Law is behind a rock or a vine in Greenbit, and Doflamingo pops up above him, and then the camera zooms out, and Fujitora is on a vine further in towards the direction Law was running towards, and he's just chilling, like he's sitting there, like he was there the entire time.
He was like, "What took you so long?
That's
We're waiting
awesome.
for you."
Yeah, where you been, slowpoke? and then they had the cool part where he was floating on a slab of plant, and there was a bunch of stuff like floating around him, and he just like cuts one and sends it all raining down. Fujitora is sick, dude. I love Fujitora.
I'm glad you're loving the new Admiral. He is a wonderful character thus far. I had some random stupid thought, and I think I lost it in your excitement. Maybe it'll come back to me. But other question I was going to ask is, we got a very, very small glimpse of Doflamingo's power set, where he this was only used in the anime. I don't think it was ever shown this early in the manga, but he uses something called bullet string, which he just shoots a string and it cuts stuff, I guess. Any thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, it's dope. It's like the Fishman's water bullet power or feature of their martial arts, where they could take a water drop and fling it, and it pierces and flies as fast as a bullet. It's the same principle. It's nothing new, but it's a kind of power that I do enjoy seeing, and I think it kind of makes sense with Doflamingo's as well. You could probably, with any of these sorts of devil fruits, I don't think it's hard to kind of manipulate this sort of thing. Any elemental one is obviously an easy one to be able to do this sort of bullet move with, but to apply it to what is presumably Doflamingo's puppet fruit, and having it just be like a ball, like you ball up some string and you can fling it real quick. Like, I'm fine with this. This is cool.
Also, just remember the dumb idea I was having earlier. So I don't know the effective range of Fujitora's gravity power. I don't know if he's like super skillful with it, or he just kind of like the gravity thing goes in a straight line almost endlessly. But I was thinking while you were talking, I was thinking, what if, mostly unintentionally, Fujitora just waved his sword around and his gravity went up into outer space, and he pulled down Eneru from the moon?
Why stop at Eneru? Pull down the whole moon.
Well, I still want a series to watch, all right? Can't just go destroy the dinosaurs and everyone else. That's the true planetary devastation. Madara was holding back.
Yeah, like, what if Eneru and some of his toy friends that's what they were, right? They were like toys up there.
They were like mechs or like machina, like robot beings. I don't know if I call them toys necessarily.
All right, so whatever animated objects. They were just chilling on a particularly big one that they had discovered. Maybe like they still have Eneru's ship that he can fly around, and they're just casually exploring different hunks of rock. And they're just on one that Fujitora pulls down one day. They're like, whoa, what's this weird cluster of rocks right above the Grand Line? It's kind of strange, don't you think? Like, I wonder what could have happened to have caused, oh, shit. Where are we going? And then they just get pulled down.
Extreme skydiving.
We get another perfect Eneru face. Yeah, extreme skydiving, unintentional skydiving. It's great.
Good times.
That'd be great. I'd love to see that. That'd be a great re-entry for Eneru and company.
You know, I'm really glad you appreciate this idea. I thought it would be shot down, surely.
No, I love it. I'll take Eneru back in the series.
Pog champ. Back on Greenbit, but underground, we're keeping up with it's Usopp, Robin, and the Tontatas, the little fairy people, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Devin has a called it because I listened to this episode recently since it came out on Thanksgiving. Devin randomly, with no actual intent or conviction, just waved his hand and said, you know, I bet this is all a ruse. The factory's not on Green Bay. It's probably somewhere stupid like under the Coliseum. And I'm like, there's no fucking way he just called this in like the most like half-assed way possible. But the boy did it.
Oh, you mean like where the location of the Smiles factory is. Right. Yeah, I do remember having that conversation now because you said Devin's called it earlier, and I was like, what is he talking about? I mean, it's been a couple of weeks.
Yes, it has.
I probably wouldn't have even remembered it if it was last week, but it's been a couple of weeks since we recorded those sets of episodes. But yeah, I do remember that conversation now where I believed that it could still just be on Greenbit, but Devin was like, it's too easy. It's got to be somewhere else.
And boy was right.
Makes sense. And we've learned it's not under the Coliseum, but instead is within or underneath a place called the Toy Factory, right?
My understanding, the Toy Factory is the Smile Factory, unless I'm crisscrossing wires. That was my understanding.
Well, isn't it like a front? I thought like you could get to it on the main street of, you know, the town or whatever, and like the top side was going to be like an actual toy shop or something, and then underneath it was going to be the Smile Factory.
All I know is that the Tontata said the factory was underneath the Coliseum. That is Devin's called it. That's what I'm going with.
I thought it was maybe I'm misremembering it now. Then I don't remember it being under the Coliseum. I remember it. I thought it was like I don't know. I remembered it as being a thing that you could go to, but underneath it had like a dark underbelly where all the Tontatas and the Smiles were made.
That could be true, but all I know is Tontata-kun said it's under Coliseum.
Okay. In this episodes?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember that.
It'd be like that. Also, they're so as I mentioned in the summary, all of these fetch quests that people have been running on the side are starting to converge. So the Tontatas have a reason to go to the factory because their own people are being enslaved there or whatever. Also, their queen is being held captive there, and they want to save her or princess, queen, both, whatever.
I think it was a princess.
The princess is being captured there, and they want to save her because, you know, royal duty. But also, they just say she's an awful person. And I think it was Usopp who was like, why do you want to save her so bad?
Yeah. That one little guy with the sewing power is like, yeah, she's like loud, obnoxious, weird, and a couple of other negative descriptors. And then Usopp's like, well, I mean, she seems like a bad person. What the fuck are you doing? She's like, well, she's still our princess, so we should probably go get her.
Christian, are you ready?
Probably not.
For the God Usopp arc to begin. I mean, it's already begun. We're here, but like...
In that case, I'm definitely not ready.
What do you mean?
I don't know what you're on about.
Bro, God Usopp is on his way. He'll be here by Christmas, surely.
Yeah, in like 3 years, maybe. When the series ends.
That's a very generous timeline for you.
Sorry,
I've been giving it a minimum
years.
of 5.
Yeah, 5 Christmases. 5 Christmas-I.
I'm telling you, man, God Usopp's on his way. He's making a list. Right. He's checking it twice.
This is just the beginning part, the beginning of it.
This is where it all begins.
The beginning of the end.
Well, I mean, I don't know, the end. It's the beginning of God Usopp.
Right, the beginning of the end of the God Usopp arc, because the end of the God Usopp arc is God Usopp.
Well, I mean, like, I wouldn't call it the end. It's more like, it's the beginning of a saga, really. It's like the what do you call it? What comes first, the epilogue or the prologue? Epilogue? Prologue. So the prologue to the God Usopp saga. All right, this is his origin story.
Right.
And eventually we will witness the ascension of God Usopp. And from that point on, we will bask in his glory. So I hope you're ready, Christian.
I'm certainly not.
We'll
I am not seeing the vision just yet.
Who else is converging? I know Sanji and Kinemon managed to group up together somehow. I don't remember how that happened, but they were also outside the Coliseum watching the fight.
That was the last set of episodes.
I'm pulling at straws here, trying to piece it all together. Kinemon and Sanji are outside. They're also making their way to... I don't think they're going to the factory. They're going to the flower fields, I think, which is also where Zoro is desperately trying to get to for the past 2 to 3 weeks.
I think they were trying initially to get to the Coliseum because Sanji wanted to consult Luffy and bring Luffy along. But then they get there and there's a shit ton of Marines outdoors waiting for people to come out of the Coliseum so they can arrest them.
Except no one's come out yet, surprisingly. It's been hours since A block and B block and shit.
So I guess they're just killing all of them. Disposing
I was
of their
going to ask
bodies
what your
somewhere.
thoughts on surely one could maybe speculate that they want to stick around to watch the whole event, but bro, not even one person has walked out yet. Kind of suspicioso.
Well, allegedly some of them are dead because they got put in the water with the fighting fish.
That's fair.
But anyone who survived was being dealt with in the medical bay.
Also true.
So I don't. Maybe this is just a weird fake out where really nothing is wrong. They're just in the medical bay, and the Marines for some reason didn't think that the Coliseum would take care of the injured people.
A fair assessment, honestly.
I suppose. But the Coliseum has been around for 10 years. I don't know if maybe this is the first year they've implemented
a medical
insurance. Yeah, but if this has been a thing at any point in the past, then they should have done their due diligence and researched the fact that they have a med team and they're going to get taken care of. I think that would be funny if the Marines are just sitting there because they didn't know. They just expected a bunch of injured fighters to hobble out and they were going to very easily arrest them. And they just didn't know that they're being taken care of in the basement or something.
I love this, actually. I was thinking maybe we'd have some way darker anything. No, this is way better. They're gonna be coming hobbling out with bullet holes and stuff. We're gonna get them, right, boys? And they're like, wait, why is that guy okay?
Yeah.
What happened? Why is he in perfect condition? Who did this?
Yeah, and then they're gonna walk out and they're gonna have bandages and stuff, and they're like, wait a minute, do they care?
Little do they know the gladiators unionized and got health insurance.
Yeah. They all pooled their money together and paid for a medical team for the first time in 10 years or whatever.
Immaculate. True class solidarity. It's been great.
That'd be funny.
What else is happening?
The slightly... Yeah, okay. So it sounds like you go.
I was just trying to piece together who else is anywhere. We know where the Sanji Kinemon. We know where Zoro is, lost as always. Frankie and Lightning Soldier are on their way to, I want to say, the flower field, which I think they're sharing with Sanji. There's some communication. I'll figure it out. Before we get to the Lightning Soldier and Frankie stuff, that's really important. Briefly touching back on the Sunny with Nami and Co. fighting Giola with her devil fruit. It was called the art fruit, right? Yeah.
Yes.
How does that make you feel? Because I remember you were cooking a couple weeks ago with a pretty cool devil fruit theory over there.
I don't even remember what I cooked.
You were talking about the acid fruit or something like that.
Oh, that sounds right. Yeah. Or I think I called it even less basic and maybe was I don't even know, paint fruit or image. I don't think I called it art explicitly. I don't think I ever did that.
My brain just remembers the acid fruit. If there's been developments afterward, I am unaware.
Yeah, that sounds right. But which would explain the art references that they get turned into, of course. But
Minecraft Chopper still disturbs me.
Minecraft Chopper.
He looks like a Minecraft character, bro.
I love Cutesy Scream Brook.
Yeah. Cutesy
Scream Brook is a mood.
Mm-hmm. Good times.
I don't care. This chick has yet to show me anything I really care about. She just turns things into painting looking things. I'm waiting to see where the strength in her lies, that she's a high-ranking member of the Don Quixote family.
Mm-hmm.
So as of this moment, I don't really care. I don't care for the prospects of her power. I don't care about the way she's used it. She's annoying. I don't like her.
At the current moment in time, she's somehow managed to make herself look weaker than Khalifa. Which, like, maybe I shouldn't say with such audacity in my tone, but, like, while Khalifa's power was good enough in many ways, you know, it wasn't, you know, completely useless. It's pretty low tier in comparison to all its other devil fruit brethren, right?
Right.
But at least that could, like, literally wash away your stats and be a silly little hazard. What's Art gonna do, bro?
Well, as of right now, they have yet to even try fighting, but Brook and Chopper are just kind of operating under the assumption that they can't use their powers right now.
Interesting.
Even though they haven't tried. They just keep saying over and over again, oh, I don't know if I can fight in this form. But they haven't tried. They've just run away, which I think, which is also like, I railed on them last week for immediately abandoning ship, but then Nami comes out and is like, yeah, it was a plan all along. And I'm like, it wasn't a plan all along. But I digress. The art fruit means little to me right now, especially if the two discover that they can use their own devil fruit powers while in this mode. It would serve no purpose otherwise. The art fruit has potentially at that point less use than even the jacket fruit.
Damn, that's crazy, bro.
Because why the fuck do I care what it looks like or what I look like if I can still use all my power sets? If it's nerfing the power sets, then okay, fine. It's just it's also Khalifa's power, but different. It's copy my homework, but change it a little so the teacher doesn't recognize it. You know, there's different flavors.
I think they did a pretty good job on the plagiarism part, personally.
Which is crazy because it's the art fruit. I guess that's kind of all art is, right?
Some would argue that.
All the artists going to kill me. Actual artists going to be in our DMs.
Panda's going to come back and say,
yeah.
Remember when I said, don't you ever say that to me ever again?
As long as I don't say
those words you shouldn't say right now.
Yeah. As long as I don't say they get paid with the E word, then I'm good.
The shredded E word.
Yeah.
Things you can't say on podcasts.
Things you can't say on podcasts with Panda or any artist, I guess. I had one other thing I wanted to bring up, but I forget what it was, and maybe I'll remember it later, but go on.
Only thing really left to talk about is Lightning Soldier's little conversation with Frankie about house rules and also potential explanation, and by potential I mean actual explanation of how we got these toys on the island. So Lightning Soldier talks to Frankie because Frankie's just like, bro, how did we get here? This island's crazy. You know, him and Devin are sharing a brain cell at that particular moment in time. And so Lightning Soldier informs Frankie of these two rules. One, there's a strict curfew. Everyone goes back to their homes at midnight. No ifs, no ands, no buts. And humans and toys have to live in separate houses and they can never walk into each other's houses, which I thought was a little weird because I was like, okay, you can't live in the same home, but you're also perfectly able to like interact with each other in the streets. I don't know. That feels like a weird...
like these relationships as well.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Seemingly have these relationships.
Really weird line in the sand to draw. But then we get a scene of some toy approaching, I think, a woman and who, I don't know if she had a kid, but she was definitely with like a husband or whatever. And he's like, hey, like, you're my wife. Why don't you remember me? And blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, they kick the toy to the side and they're like, oh, he's gone crazy. He's got the disease. And then police take the toy.
Human disorder.
Yeah, it's human disorder. And then some police show up, take the toy and like just throw him in a hole. I don't know where that hole goes to, but...
A hole labeled scrap.
Yeah. I hope that guy's okay.
He's not.
Probably not.
He's definitely not.
And so it's explained that every toy on the island was once a human who was transformed by some devil fruit power. Humans have no memory of the toy's human existence. So what are your thoughts?
Oh, was that it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were going to like continue.
No, that's all we got.
Expanding on the topic for a second.
No, well, that's all we got.
Yeah, so it is given to us via this other toy that the toy soldier calls over. He just like walks over to a group of a woman, her child, and this toy. And whatever he says to them, he borrows him and convinces him to drop his character and explain what's going on to Frankie, and who the soldier just has to be like, he's also a toy. It's okay. You can talk about it. But at which point I would still be sus if I was that Slinky guy, because if you're a toy, then you should already kind of know what's going on with this. But either way, it serves as the plot device where the toy drops his persona of his happy-go-lucky nature and gets real serious, turns around and goes, I am that woman's husband and the father of that child. And then Soldier goes, okay, great. Frankie, wait here 1 second. And he goes over to that family and asks, yo, kid, you ever had a dad? And the kid goes, nope. And to the wife, you ever had a husband? And she goes, no, of course not. And he goes, great, thanks. And then walks away. So for some reason, I don't know if it's the same devil fruit or not. So the people are getting turned into toys, or in some way their souls are being put in the bodies of toys, a la the same way Moria was stitching people's souls into zombies. And at the same time, whether it's the same devil fruit or not, we don't know, the memories of the people who were important to that person, or maybe even everybody, are gone. So via the same devil fruit or not, we don't know yet, but somehow the people's memories of the person who is now a toy are gone. So not only does this have weird implications for all the toys that we've seen so far, but this offers some sort of hint towards what we were confused about with the gladiator guy, Kiros?
The guy in the statue.
I think that was his name, right? The statue gladiator. Yeah, I think it's Kiros. So this offers up the explanation somewhat of why nobody remembers Kiros. Like the statue is there, but nobody actually remembers seeing the fighter, because whatever devil fruit is at work here, or whatever power is at work here, maybe it's not even a devil fruit. It could just be Django with his doing mass hypnosis on people. Who knows? We know that the being turned into toys part is a devil fruit. You're questioning whether or not everything that's happened is under the roof of one devil fruit or spread across more than one. Correct. We're still not entirely... we cannot say for certain if the memories being wiped is also an act of the same devil fruit or not. Acting under the assumption that it's not, it's a separate devil fruit or a separate power. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be a devil fruit, I guess. It's just the most likely candidate. Okay, hold on. I know explanation is there for Kiros. I know Django is like a Marine now, right? Yeah, he's... Right. Bro, what if like years ago, before I became a Marine, Doflamingo hired Django to pull off like a really big job. And he was like, bro, I need you to hypnotize the entire island. I mean, yeah, it would be possible for just the Kiros thing, but it wouldn't explain why currently new toys are made and don't have, and then other people's memories are erased. Unless Django was still doing it under the table, you know, like he still has a bit of that dog in him, you know, like he's a Marine, but he still sells his services on the black market. You know what I mean? Like, now we're back in. Could be the case. I'm committed. Do I think it's the case? Probably not, but I'll double down on it and say that Django is secretly working with Doflamingo while simping for the pink-haired Marine lady at the same time. Django has been a Don Quixote family member the entire time. All I'm saying is pink is a very common theme with Django. Also, if we had... I'm not putting it past him. If Vergo was implanted into the Marines purposefully to, like, you know, keep tracks and tabs for Doflamingo, who's to say Django also wasn't implanted there? Exactly. It's true. Plot thickens. Django was an overcutter agent the entire time. So yeah, that I'm looking forward to seeing deeper explanation on that front. Not necessarily. I think I'm more invested in this like Heroes thing. Weirdly enough, I didn't think I would be, but offering up this explanation of like mass forgetfulness for the Kiros thing is kind of something that I guess I expected, because otherwise, we've harped on this when the Kiros thing was originally, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense how just everybody would forget in 20 years. So there had to be something like this. So it was expected, but now I just want to know how. Like, I want to know how or what the motivation is for erasing this gladiator that was so well loved from the minds of people. I imagine it's probably because in some extent he started opposing the Don Quixote family. The other facet is now did he, because, and this again is pivotal on whether or not the toy making fruit is also erasing people's memories, which I find is probably not the case. I feel like that would be crazy if, like, crazy overpowered, that is, if the fruit that could also turn you into a toy permanently, or maybe it's not permanently, maybe something about like keeping the toys separate, like they have to redo the magic every now and then. Either way, the devil fruit that turns people into toys also erases other people's memories. I find hard to believe. I think it has to be two separate people / powers. So
fair.
The crux is, now there was that one gladiator in the other block who was just a random masked gladiator who was kicking the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, Ricky.
And I want to say it was Devin. I'm pretty sure it was Devin. Devin proposed the idea that was Kyros. So that would hinge on the idea that toy fruit, forgetful fruit, not the same people, person, not contained within the same fruit. So I'm leaning on that. I'm leaning towards that because it also helped my theory that Kyros is like Rebecca's grandfather or something, and she just doesn't remember now because she had her mind erased. But for some reason, Kyros was left alive, or maybe they presumed he got turned into a toy, but didn't somehow, or maybe was untoyed somehow. But either way, I'm a little more invested in general in this story of Kyros now than I am just in general with, like, why are they even making all these people toys in the first place?
Ignoring Devin's theory over there, would you, I don't know if you're on board with his theory or not, but would you have believed that Kyros is alive and just in toy form somewhere?
I mean, I could buy into it also. Yeah, it could be the case. Shit, the toy soldier could even be her grandfather for all I know. It's already been shown that the toy soldier has been a part of Rebecca's life since she was a small child. So he could have, and I don't know how old she is. She's probably, hopefully she's in her 20s, but she's probably like 18. So it could stand to reason that the toy soldier is her grandfather because she's known the toy soldier her entire life, and he could have been turned into a toy soldier, just before she was born or just after, who knows. But 20 years is easily enough to contain her entire life, or at least enough of her life, like that her first memories would be with the toy soldier. So I would believe that. Okay.
Final follow-up question, or final quote unquote. Yeah. Let's presume that this devil fruit does both powers, makes you a toy and also erases people's memories of you. Let's assume that for this question.
Okay.
Could you believe that this is Doflamingo's power?
No, this is definitely somebody within the family.
Okay.
Because they also do the outline. They do one of those like blacked out outlines of people when they talk about how it's a devil fruit that turns people into toys.
That's fair.
And it's very clearly not Doflamingo.
Okay. That's it.
And they would have no reason to hide it if it was.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but fair point. Different silhouette, presumably a different person. No more questions, Your Honor.
I see. I can see the rest of my time.
Anything else you want to talk about before we move on toward the end?
I don't think so, really. There's not much else, I guess. There's a lot of focus on just the Block C fight and then Luffy and Don Chinjao towards the last episode. Fucking Don Chinjao holding a grudge for 30 years, bro. Get over it.
I think I read this in a wiki because I was trying to catch up and refresh my memory. Apparently that dent in his head is also causing some type of memory loss because he doesn't know what Garb did to him. He just knows that Garb did it.
Yeah, I had that same sort of question myself because several times he is asking Luffy, what did Garb do to me? Or something along those lines, like, Garp took my power. How did that happen? And at first, it's like he's trying to get Luffy to say it out loud as confirmation that Luffy knows it.
That's what we thought.
But then he asks it several times, and I had the thought, I was like, does he actually not know, like, what Garp did? And then he has that moment where they call him, apparently he was called Don Chinjao the Drill at some point. And his head very cone-shaped or drill-shaped, in fact. So he frequently says how Garp took away his power. And if he was a drill guy, we've already seen him throw himself at people and do spin moves and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the power that Garp took away from him was just a karate chop to his head. so that his head didn't come to a point anymore. And it also just happened to give him brain damage as well.
I mean, honestly, despite this is one totally believable and understandable that he would have some type of brain damage. The fact that this is seemingly the only extent of it is what's really impressive.
Yeah, I had to sit there and like giggle to myself too after I started putting these pieces together, because it was just just funny. Like I was just sitting there giggling to myself because I couldn't believe that Don Chinjao's gamer dent was giving him actual memory loss. And even better is I called him Iron Giant too, like one of the first times we saw him, which is the same application. He just has memory loss. It's hilarious.
Great. Remember, kids, remember to take your headsets off when gaming periodically. You don't want to suffer memory loss too. It makes you think about like what Don Chinjao's original like head structure looked like. We assume he's got a pointed head previously, and he probably like gnome shaped, right? Is that like
very
like is his skull like soft then, or like is it literally just like dust in there?
I think his skull had to be triangle shaped, right?
Yeah, but now
and he's got a triangle shaped brain.
Ah, shit.
And that was a dent in both.
I mean, you could have like a quote unquote small brain in comparison to your skull size, and then like it's like okay, you have like average human proportions for brain and cerebral spinal fluid and all that blah blah blah, like the cavity of your skull that holds your brain, that's all like normal or whatever. But then you just have a lot of bone density going straight to the moon, man.
Yeah. Which would hurt way more too if it was karate chopped. Like it's just all crunching down.
That's what I'm thinking. I was like, is it just dust? Is he now like it just has a perma soft spot, or like does it regrow and now it's just like permadented?
No, it definitely doesn't regrow. He's had this grudge for 30 years. He's been like that for 30 years or so.
So you think he just has like a permanent soft spot? Like there's no skull there anymore?
Probably, yeah.
All right, shit. It's crazy.
There's no brain there either.
That got karate chopped out too.
Yeah, that
broke
part
his brain.
Of his fucking I don't know what center of the brain has those memories for him, but
they got chopped out.
Those got cut real quick.
The only thing I want to talk about before I move on is I think this is all information from last week. I don't fully remember if this is relevant this week, but a couple weeks ago I mentioned how in the anime there is a very particular woman in the crowd that they would constantly pan over to, where she would like scream, cover her eyes with her hands, but then like peek through them to see what was going on. I finally got her name. Her name is Arimo Ganmi. I tried looking to see if
she's
that's
an actual named character.
Yeah, they gave her a name. I think she was given a name in an SBS because someone asked about her in to Oda. That's her name in Japanese. I don't know if it translates to anything like directly, but the official English name is Pikata Crotch.
What? What do you mean?
I am not joking. I looked that up. It is real.
What?
I said the exact same thing.
So when you say her English name, are you saying that's just what the translators gave her because they didn't try to translate her Japanese name, or it's what the actual Japanese means?
The first one. This isn't a translation thing in terms of like these words and letters in kanji make these sounds in English. No. Some person at like Viz Media or Jump or whoever does English translations officially said her name is Pikata Crotch.
Oh my God. What is... I don't... It's so dumb.
It is.
It's so third grade humor.
It's so out of left field too. It's like, why is this what we chose?
Somebody came up with the Pikatha part because she does the whole peek through her hands piece, I guess. And then they just went, what would be funny? What could be something funny? And they went, I don't know, crotch.
Stupid.
I didn't remember it until you brought it up, but I do remember her appearing in this set of episodes.
I think she got
don't
a
remember
full
the context
face reveal.
anymore.
I might be wrong on that. That might have been last week, but she does get a full face reveal at some point, and also makes numerous appearances throughout this Coliseum stuff. She does change her appearance.
I'll be on the lookout for
often.
more.
She gets like different hair color, different shirts. It's always changing for some fucking reason. But just know, this lady peeking through her hands, that's her. Peek at the crotch.
Got it. Peek at the crotch.
I can't believe who does the official translation for English? Who the fuck did this? Need to look this up. Hold on. Where are you, miss? Need to find you somewhere. Peek at the crotch. We're in the wiki somewhere. In the other episode, hold on. Mihatsugundo, Aramogami's official. Who does the translation? Who does this?
Who did this?
Viz
Who are
Media.
you?
Got it. Viz Media does a translation for the SBS. That is what. God damn it. This is all thanks to you, Viz Media.
Here's looking at you. Incredible.
So yeah, that was it. That's the important thing I had to mention from last week.
Great. Yeah.
Moving on. Next week, episode 648 to 650. You got any quotes, brother?
I think I had one. Let me consult my notes.
While you consult your notes, I also had one. It's the bit of dialogue between Zoro and the fairy he's currently traveling with. It goes back and forth.
Yes.
I'm so surprised. You're unbelievably terrible with directions. Zoro says, shut up. It was just a slight mistake. Slight? That wasn't slight. You've gone in the opposite direction from where I told you 27 times. You ran downstairs. You just climbed up 31 times. It was not slight at all.
She had all the stats.
It was so fun.
Fucking Animal was also absolutely going to leave her in that bush too. What a piece of shit.
I mean, listen, she had the audacity to bitch and moan when he's clearly just trying to do something nice for her and she didn't appreciate it. And he's like, you know what? Fine. Fuck you. I got places to be anyway.
Her people's lives hang in the balance.
Well, she should have been a little bit more, polite to, the customer service employee taking care of her.
Zoro's just an idiot.
I mean, he is.
And then he completely changes his tune too. He gets lost again, makes his way back there in about 15 seconds, and has basically completely forgiven her at that point. And they continue on their merry way.
Because Zoro's a good guy, all right? He was heated in the moment.
I don't know about that.
Listen, you never made a rash decision before?
Fuck you. How about that? My quote is at the beginning of 645 when Luffy has finished decking the giant guy and he returns to Ushi's body. Thank you for fighting with me. Let me carry you to the edge of the ring, Ushi. I don't know. It was just super serious and goofy in the moment because he does that thing where he puts his head on him and gives him a quick pat and then carries him across the arena. And everyone's still losing their shit. All of the gladiators part way for him. And we never really see him actually put down Ushi's body anywhere because I think at a certain point, Hideo comes up and challenges him to a fight. I think is what happens directly afterwards. Mm-hmm. But I just love the seriousness of it. And also their tight bond between Lucy and Ushi.
It's the monkey brain that just going hard, bro. He just speaks to all animals.
It's true. But yeah, no more quotes.
Nope.
We move on to the golden ham of the week.
I ain't got shit. What you got?
Wow. So I'm a little conflicted. I like Luffy in this fight because he has to hold back and he's actually trying to maintain the Lucy persona. I kind of almost want to give it to Garp. He doesn't appear in the episodes, but he gives us the comedic genius that is Don Chinjao's dent. Or we give it to Don Chinjao's dent, maybe. I don't know what to do here.
I don't feel right giving it to just straight up the dent. However,
that's fair.
I am not totally opposed to giving it to Garp. Does this break our own rules? I don't know.
Well, the original rules as they were that we've completely ignored up to this point. Or by this point, was originally that it was a character that we felt had the most impact in the episodes.
Well, Garp definitely had the most impact, clearly.
Garp definitely had the most impact, both physically and mentally, on Don Chinjao. And nowhere in those rules does it state they explicitly had to be present in the episodes. They just had the most impact. Garp can have impact without actually being there on your screen.
I am 100% down to giving it to Garp. Any objections?
No, I don't even a little bit. No, this is great.
I can't wait for Jordy to look at this and be like, when did Garp show up in this episode? But also, when our dear listeners eventually get to their podcast episode and see the thumbnail, and they also ask themselves, when did Garp show up in these episodes?
and then they listen to an hour and 15 minutes or so, give or take, of these two idiots talking about the episode. Like, they still haven't talked about Garp. Where's Garp? When did Garp show up? I know they mentioned Don Chinjao in his den, but like, where's Garp?
This is great.
This has got to be like a top 5 most nonsense golden ham we've ever given.
Absolutely. Yet somehow
I love it
follows. Somehow we've managed to not break our rule in any capacity. If anything, we have followed it to a T.
Yeah, exactly. This is simultaneously one of the most nonsense ones and one of the most by the rules golden hams we've ever given out.
This is what golden ham is truly all about, kids. Ooh, okay. Moving on to fan mail, slowly but surely moving through our backlog. Thank you for anyone who's been sending us emails recently. They are seen and we are getting to them slowly but surely. But this week's email is from Mike, and Mike writes, "Hey Goons, if you have to cosplay as a One Piece character, who would you be? Please a Straw Hat and one more character." I'll go first. It's real simple for me. Zoro 100%. And then for my non-Straw Hat character, if I may be so bold to drop the name of a character we have not met yet. Waiting for permission.
Okay, go ahead.
A character named King. That man
King
is beautiful. If I could ever strum up the confidence to cosplay as King, let alone Zoro, because they're both like, traditional hot looking dudes, right? Like rock hard ass, big boobs, cool looking face, all the whole 9 yards. They're real pretty. Right? But if I could ever amass the amount of confidence that I think is required to cosplay as King, you wouldn't recognize me anymore. I don't think I could. I don't think God would allow me. If I could have that much confidence, I'd be too powerful. And God knew that. And that's why he made me the way I am today. He knew he couldn't handle me in that capacity.
Right.
So what about you?
He wanted to make you work for it.
I'm not sure if he'll ever. I think there's a hard, like, not even glass ceiling, just a concrete ceiling there, man. It's like I know, like, there's writing on the wall saying, like, King cosplay on the other side, but I can't break through the concrete.
Right. I think if I were to choose a Straw Hat, I'd probably do my boy Soul King Brook.
Nice.
Soul King Brook sounds like it would be fun to do cosplay as, and as a tall individual myself, maybe not 7+ feet tall like Brook is, but I'm close enough. I feel like tall enough that I wouldn't have to. I could get away with not wearing like stilts or something to garner the effect. I think I could do Soul King Brook some justice. As for outside the Straw Hat crew, it's a little tougher. I think, actually, funny enough, we were at Anime NYC last week and I saw somebody else wearing it, which I thought was awesome. I think I would also do pretty well because he also fits, not that convention people would know this, but his character also fits my general vibe, I think. Aokiji. I feel like I could cosplay some Admiral Aokiji.
Okay.
Just put on the face mask, be a tall dude walking around, afro as well. Just reuse the Brook afro.
I like it. I see the vision. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Is that it for the email?
Yes. That is all from Michael. Or Mike, excuse me.
Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate
Thank you for your
buddy.
lovely email.
With that out of the way, Patreon shoutouts to Twigo and Easy Life. We appreciate you dearly for supporting our channel and our work.
Hell yeah.
We have recorded your movies for the past month. They just have not been edited and shipped out yet, unfortunately. But they are done.
Incorrect. At this point, the Dude Where's My Car episode has been out for a while. I do not but the Shaun of the Dead, there we go. I lost the movie. I had it, then I lost it. I found it again. Shaun of the Dead is on its way. So anyone listening to this that is not subscribed or knows about our Panda View podcast feed, that is where we put these movies. I don't know how much we've explicitly stated that for people.
Honestly, probably not explicit enough.
Because we've mentioned, I know we mention it every time. They make us watch movies because they pay us an exorbitant amount of money for it, and we thank them dearly for it. They end up on our Panda View feed. So if you go to wherever you find podcasts and go to Panda View, you will see our reviews of all of these movies. And hopefully by the time this is out, because this should come out 2 weeks from recording this, if my math is right, hopefully Shaun of the Dead will be out by then. And they'll have also given us new recommendations. So can't wait to find out what those are. But thank you again, Twiggo and Easy Life.
We love you so much. We could not do this without
Very
you.
dearly.
Quite literally. But with that out of the way, we're moving on to the Garb Gab. And I just say how much I love this. I love this rebrand. I forgot who wrote us that email. It might have been Tanish. I might be misremembering.
I believe it was.
Tanish,
I believe it was
in case
Tanish.
you're concerned that we're making fun of you, we're not. This is amazing. This is all thanks to you, buddy. This is the greatest thing to happen to us possibly all year. So anyway, moving on to the Garb Gap. You got the...
well, I mean, I don't...
I mean, if you don't, like, surely I wouldn't, right? Like,
well, I mean, it has been a few weeks. It could have easily gotten lost. You know what? I can pull some out real quick. I've got
I've been here for a couple weeks.
Here.
I'm lost in the sauce.
I've got a bag here. I've got a bunch of probably that will probably go unused business cards for different Artist Alley people that I found in Anime and NYC. Let me just scribble on the grab bags on them real quick. Throw them in this little thing that I got. All right. Here you go. Pick out from one of the colorful little guys that I've got here.
All right. Hiya!
They're kind of sharp, so make sure you don't cut yourself.
I have so many paper cuts.
What did I tell you, man?
Everywhere.
That's quality. Those are quality, man. They don't skimp out.
I can't move my fingers. Can you read the other side of this to see what we got?
It's all right. Yeah, it's. Oh, okay, cool. This one is a casting call, and we're gonna do Zorro.
If I wasn't in so much pain, I'd be way more excited about this. But yay!
Do you want to make up for your lack of enthusiasm now by going first? Or should I go first?
Yeah. Hold on. Where's this list? I've been sitting on this list for a long time. Since, when was the last time that was updated? Since, it's way longer than this probably. Trying to do months. May, June, July 6th of 2023.
Jesus Christ, man.
I'm pretty sure it's been way longer than that, but I've been sitting on this for a while. Also, let me just make sure I put Zorro on the list of people we have done so I don't forget this in like 6 months from now. All right, casting call ideas for Zorro. So first one up, I got Donnie Yen. He is a very prolific action movie star. He's done a lot of like kung fu movies based in China. His most recent role that I know of was he was in John Wick 4. He played the blind assassin guy. Donnie Yen is just really cool. His repertoire and his just dude's got a lot of good movies. You can watch any of them. They may not be like the greatest plot ever written in humanity, but the choreography is top notch. It is impressive. He's also the star in like all those Ip Man movies. So yeah. Runner up, we got Scott Adkins, another action movie star. He is less well known in my opinion. You have seen his face in a lot of things because he tends to do like stunt double work and just kind of like side character. I'm goon number 3, but I'm really cool and badass looking kind of work. In Ip Man, I want to say 2 or 3. The plot happens where there's like a U.S. Military base stationed in Japan. I think it's Japan. Might have been China. I can't remember. Anyway, it takes place with, U.S. military involvement, and Scott Adkins' character is like a captain or some type of high-level military officer in that movie, and he plays the antagonist in that film. Playing alongside Donnie Yen. Really cool. The first time I ever saw Scott Adkins was, I don't think many people would remember or even know about this, but for anyone familiar with the Kamen Rider series, you may remember, probably not fondly from what I hear, this American adaptation for Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. It came on Saturday morning cartoon networks. For me, it was like Kids WB or whatever that got rebranded to. I personally loved it. He played, I think it was like Shadow Knight. He was basically Batman, but in Kamen Rider form. He was really cool. I thought that was some really good work. I thought Kamen Rider Dragon Knight was really cool. It was my first exposure to Kamen Rider. People might burn me at the stake for saying that, but yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, Scott Adkins, great actor, stuntman, all the other stuff. What was also something else he did? If anyone remembers that like one karate sitcom from like Disney XD, I think it was called Gotta Kick It Up. I might be misremembering the title, but it was literally just like a show about kids at a karate dojo in a mall. The main character, I think his name was Leo. That kid actually had like a black belt in karate and some other martial arts. And Scott Adkins was his sensei. And I'm pretty sure Scott Adkins makes an appearance in the show, a handful of times. So yeah, Scott Adkins faces everywhere. Who else do I have in here? I wrote down some Japanese people, I guess. And I don't remember who these people are. Excuse me for a hot second. Hiroyuki Sanada. Who are you, my friend? Oh, okay. Hiroyuki Sanada. He was also in John Wick 4. He played... Wow. I wish I remember anyone's name in those movies. He played the other Japanese guy, which is really bad to say. He owned like a hotel in Japan, I think. Yeah, that was his role. Yeah. He also has a new series coming out on, I think on like an Apple TV or something called Shogun. He plays a presumably important character in there. But yeah, Hiroyuki Sanada is another one. Steven Yeun came to mind. I don't know if Steven Yeun's done any action roles. I just know him as some main character from The Walking Dead and the voice of Mark from Invincible.
Poor Glenn.
And my last name here, who I also have to Google, Sung Kang. Let's go Kang. Sung Kang. Oh, Sung Kang is the Asian driver from the Tokyo Drift movie and the Fast and Furious franchise. That guy. What was his name in those movies? Han. He plays Han in those Fast and Furious movies. So yeah, that's. Oh wait, also can't believe I almost forgot. Danny DeVito. Wait, no, whoa, hold on, wrong actor. Robert De Niro. Thank you, Robert De Niro, greatest actor of all time.
Yeah, there
Play
you go.
anybody anywhere, anytime.
New father, by the way.
Yeah, like 80s or he's like 80, right? Maybe older. Blows my fucking mind.
Yeah, I think he's in his 80s.
All right, hot take.
Fucking wild.
No one should be having kids at 80 years old. My sperm should not be allowed to work at that point. I should be shooting blanks from like 65 onwards, honestly.
Yeah, it's just not fair, right? That men get to do it at all points, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Women have like a hard stopping point at some capacity in their lives.
Unfair. Men should not be allowed to be a menace to society for this long. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's
just
my
like
list.
tie me off at like 66 or something. Like when I retire, just like to make it like a bundle.
Like your kid's going to graduate high school and they're going to be like, hey, Dad, look, I got my diploma. And you're going to be like...
And you're going to be dead.
Yeah.
They're going to be bringing their diploma to your grave and be like, hey, Dad, look, I graduated.
Insane, man.
Is that too dark?
Maybe a little bit, but we're here.
That might be a little too dark. Dylan, cut that. So are you done?
Yes,
you done
yes.
now
I'm done.
with your... Okay. So for my list, despite not knowing too many Asian actors or indulging in a lot of sort of Asian action movies, it's become a thing more recent, maybe not recently, but in the last couple of years, I've seen more Asian action flicks and or television shows to be slightly more associated or know of different Asian actors. But that being said, I'm still extremely limited, but I tried to keep it to Asian actors for the sake of it. So just because I think, he wields katanas, it's a Japanese show. I know other people, we've shown no such restriction, but Zoro's a very Asian influenced guy. So I tried to keep it in the culture. Anyway, my first pick that I thought of, because I just really enjoyed his performance in the movie, this guy named Shun Oguri, who is the main character for Crow Zero.
Oh,
he is Genji from Crow Zero.
Wow.
I thought
deep cut.
He might make a really good. He'd be a bit more, if he followed his performance in Crow Zero, he'd probably make a little bit more of a high energy one, because Genji in Crow Zero is a lot more intense in the way he fights. He's more active, energy driven, whereas Zoro is kind of more zen, I guess. Zoro does a lot of meditation and stuff to kind of center himself. I have no idea what other movies he's been in, and maybe he has pulled that off in other movies, but I think he would make a fine Zoro in a live action setting as well. The other one that isn't just like a mainstream, at least in the American stream of conscious actor, is this gentleman by the name of Kim Nam-hee, who I know from the live action adaptation of a Korean comic known as Sweet Home that was on Netflix. And in that show, he plays this sword-wielding good guy. And even though I the show itself isn't great. I remember his performance being pretty good, and his show out with wielding a blade, even though he's doing it generally against CGI monsters, was pretty cool. So he would have to, in that show, he's a lot more of a good guy though. So again, it would be the case of the person would have to kind of switch up their acting style and double again. I haven't seen this guy in anything else other than the one instance. So maybe he can pull off the stoic swordsman thing well, but he would be a slightly different demeanor than he was in Sweet Home. But I would be excited to see how he would do with that anyway. You said it already, but I'm gonna obligatory Donnie Yen, because Donnie Yen's just that guy.
He's the GOAT, bro.
So he is him, and I wouldn't mind in the slightest, because I also enjoyed him in John Wick 4, but I'm kind of biased because I love those movies no matter what, even no matter how ridiculous the plot is getting now. And even though they shouldn't make another one, they probably will, and I'll watch it anyway. My last pick, much more well-known name, especially around America, because of his portrayal of Shang-Chi in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Simu Liu, I believe is how you say his name. I think he's already played a martial arts character again, so it wouldn't be too far of a cry to put a sword in his hand and tell him to sort of figure it out. Now, Simu Liu has been a lot more goofy characters, so I think playing a Zoro would be a good opportunity out of any of the three people that I've said for him to kind of get into more serious roles and kind of break that sort of goofy nature. And maybe he doesn't necessarily want to. Maybe he's comfortable being in that goofy kind of comedy relief-ish character. But I think if he put his mind to it, he'd make and he's built too, you know, he might be the most shredded out of all three of them. So that would already lend itself quite well to Zoro anyway. But I wouldn't mind seeing him in a more serious role, and Zoro could kind of fit that and still keep the martial arts part, even though he was just Ken in Barbie. That has nothing to do with martial arts. But
listen, we need a little bit of that goofy energy, all right? We can't be having stoic, stone face Zoro like our One Piece live action. All right, we need a little goofy. We need more goofy.
Yeah, he could bring the goofy part of a One Piece of a true. Maybe I shouldn't say true, because the other guy does an okay job too. But he would bring the goofier parts better than maybe the other two guys that I said. Those are my picks.
Nice. Love them. Flip it and ship it. And with that being out of the way, thank you for listening to our episode today. If you wish to reach out to us on social media, you can do so at Panda Sightings on Instagram and Twitter. If you wish to send us emails like Mike and other fans in the past, you can do so at pandasightings@gmail.com. We have a Discord server filled with lovely people, and you could be one of those lovely people with them. Link in the description to it in our bio and all of our stuff on socials and blah, blah, blah. You could just reach out to us and ask it if you can't find it. What else we got? We got a Patreon. Shout out to Twigo and Easy Life again for single-handedly funding this operation, honestly. We have one more slot open if you wish to be absolute maniacs.
Actually, I think we have 3. I think we bumped it up to 5 at some point.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. That we're so hard stuck at 3. So point is, if you want to be a producer and give us an absorbent amount of money and make us watch even more movies every month, you can do so by subscribing to our Patreon at Panda Sightings as well. Or, you know, just be a regular member. Or I recently discovered Patreon has a new free membership option, and we have the option as creators to publish free content available to anybody. I know the stuff I've been pushing out recently, I tend to make free off the bat because I don't know, I'm dumb. All right. Money making platform. Just give it to them. They're not going to pay for this. Don't pay for this. This is garbage. Just listen to it.
I think Patreon has almost always had the free option. We just didn't have it set, I think.
This is all news to me. But yeah, we have that. I've been noticing Jordy occasionally takes certain content pieces and makes them free after a certain amount of time. But regardless, if you wish to financially support us directly, Patreon's the way to do it. If you wish to financially support us less directly and get something out of it, we have a merch shop over on redbubble.com/pandasightings. You can get stickers or take our designs and put them on other apparel and whatnot that Redbubble offers. It's a pretty cool service. Check it out. Link also in the description somewhere. And am I missing anything else?
No,
I
don't think so.
It all. Social plugs done. Ciao.
Show over. Title card.